Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. I don't remember how I got in here, but this... Oh, I guess right on the money, right on the torch. So here we are, once again in Far Lands or Bust. There are some pigs over there, and where's my dirt? Where's my dirt? Give me my dirt. Boop and a boop. I guess I should just eat that bread to get that last half heart there. I know it was kind of a waste, but whatever. Free up some inventory space, grab Wolfie, and west is over this mountain. So let's go! And I have some excellent, fantastic news. We reached 30% of our... Oh my gosh, look at the creepers. 3 creepers for 30% of our Child's Play charity fundraiser over at farlandsorbust.com. That's amazing. I really appreciate it. We're actually up to 31%. We reached 30%, and then a single donation of an entire 1% of the $29,220 pushed us up to 31%. So that happened a lot quicker than I anticipated. I was just checking to see if I had... I guess I can grab this tree, since it's so conveniently placed. That mushroom has its own little house. But yeah, 31%. I really appreciate, obviously, that big contribution, but every contribution counts, no matter what, going to Child's Play charity, so I really appreciate it. I didn't say the number. We're up to $9,223.02. This whole place is a landmine. A landmine? This whole place is a single landmine. No, there's landmines all over the place for just falling in. But yeah, that's amazing. I really appreciate it. And you can keep going to farlandsorbust.com to contribute using the chip-in widget that's on the right-hand side of the homepage there. You can check on our progress, or when you click the little chip-in button, it takes you to PayPal, and then you can donate, and it directly goes to Child's Play charity. So, once again, I really appreciate it. Wolfie, with his avoidance skills there, avoiding falling down there. I thought for sure he was gonna... Hey, zombie, how's it going? Get a sun job. Indeed. But yeah, that's amazing. I really appreciate it. And then, separately, I would like to thank Joe and Curtis for their Far Lands or Bust tip jar contributions. And Curtis, in particular, would like to give a shout out to his mom, Tracy K, for a belated Mother's Day. I hope you got her something other than this for Mother's Day, but all the same, thank you very much for both your contribution to the tip jar and, of course, to the Child's Play charity fundraiser. That's something I do encourage and almost require. If you are going to do the tip jar, you should do the Child's Play charity first and foremost. Indeed. Look at these clouds. How magical. Is it me, or is the terrain generating a lot slower than I'm used to? I'm also... It might have... I noticed this last episode, but this time it might have something to do with... I'm having some hard drive difficulties. Not anything of my new computer, but my external hard drive that I've been using for backup. It's just a, USB Western Digital, I think it's a 1.5 terabytes. Just been acting wonky. I did a defrag. The defrag took like 30 hours. I'm not kidding you. That's not right. And that obviously didn't fix the problem, so then I'm reformatting right now, and it's been reformatting for like 18 hours, and it's just taking forever, so I think it's time for a new external hard drive. This one isn't that old, though. It's less than a couple years old, but out of warranty, screwed again. So it's a little bit nerve-wracking. I do have backups. My primary goal was to back up the Far Lands or Bust world in multiple places. I also have it on the cloud, so in case my house ever burns down, the Far Lands or Bust world is still safe, at least to a certain point. And is this all like... Oh, I think that's just yeah, it's just kind of a glitch. It looks like there isn't water under this ice, but there is. It's just a weird rendering glitch that happens. But yeah, I've got to get another external hard drive, which is always fun. But those Far Lands or Bust channel tips will help with that, definitely. Thank you very much. I got to keep things backed up. But yeah, my other stuff, like photos and documents and websites and things, I'm kind of walking on eggshells. I gotta make sure nothing happens to those. I keep the important stuff on multiple internal hard drives, but that's... You always want to have something on a separate system, say like the USB hard drive. Of course, then the USB hard drive fails. Oh, Wolfie, did you do something terrible to yourself as you were teleporting? Hold on, sit down. Let me turn this into planks, and let me feed this guy. What the heck? I swear you were fine at the beginning of the episode. Woof, yeah, I know. There you go. Sure. Indeed. So, yeah, hardware problems. Always happens. Indeed. And then also, I wanted to mention, because it is starting to make the rounds, for those of you who follow the Mindcrack Reddit, which is kind of the unofficial Mindcrack Reddit. Yeah, what is going on with the terrain generation? Come on, guys. Hold on, let me pause it for a second here, and I'll be right back. You know what it is? And I noticed this recording ultra hardcore. It's fraps. Every time, because I just cycled fraps on and off, and then instantly the terrain generated. So something is up, maybe because I'm recording as a single file and not as the 4 GB chunks that the previous versions of fraps have done. Maybe something's going on with that, so perhaps the next episode I'll have to re-enable the 4 GB chunks, which perhaps helps with the terrain generation. But yeah, I noticed that on the Mindcrack Ultra Hardcore, the last season you guys saw, is that the terrain was kind of generating slow at certain points and I'd have to cycle the recording. So, fraps. I still want to try out DxTory sometime, but I just haven't had time to get my hands on that and test it out. I know it's a little bit more complicated, but anyway, what am I talking about? You guys don't care about this. I was talking about if you were on the Mindcrack Reddit or on Twitter, you might notice, and also Goods, one of Goods' last videos, where he was opening his P.O. Box stuff. His P.O. Box stuff? His stuff from his P.O. Box. There are some Farlands or Bust postcards in circulation out there. People have received them, and these are actual postcards. I went out and got them professionally printed, and it's all glossy and heavyweight and stuff like that. I'm not printing these out on my desktop printer. But yeah, I did those a couple months ago, as I was sending those as thank yous to the people who gave to the tip jar. Careful, Wolfie. Right up until the point where I was able to build the new computer thanks to those tip jar contributions. So I sent out the ones to the United States recipients. It's a little bit more expensive. I gotta get a hold of all the proper postage to send them to the international recipients. So if you're waiting for yours, they're still on their way, don't worry. But yeah, I figured I'd just handwrite a little thank you note and send them off to people, but I didn't advertise it, and I'm still not advertising it because I don't want it to seem like I'm begging for tip jar contributions. I did that at first just to thank the people because I was very excited to be able to build this new computer to expand the channel and whatnot. So I wanted to get those thank yous out of the way. But I don't know if I'm going to continue that in the future because, as I said, I don't want it to be like, ooh, give it to the tip jar and I'll send you a personalized postcard. I don't want it to be like that, especially if I'm just going to start getting a bunch of $1 tip jar contributions, because then I would start losing money because it costs more than $1 a piece to print and to mail, depending on where they're going. So, yes, to answer some questions, yes, those are legit. People are receiving those from me. I maybe sent less than 50 or so. But I don't know. I'll have to. I do want to thank people who contribute to that, but and partly the way I've been doing it is by thanking you in the Farlands or Busts, by mentioning names and things like that. And I know other people like Good and BOO and stuff. They build monuments in their Minecraft worlds and put signs thanking people for their donations. So since I obviously don't have time, nor do I have a place to visit frequently to put signs down, that's the way I thought of it, and it's just what I know. Being a graphic designer, I'm kind of familiar with getting stuff printed and sending them out and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm not. So don't all run to the tip jar and start giving, thinking I'm going to give you a postcard. That's not going to happen. That was just kind of the first limited edition round, and I do appreciate those people. And that's based on the assumption that they also all gave to the Child's Play charity fundraiser. So yeah, I just wanted to kind of clear that up. It wasn't really a secret, but then again, like I said, I'm not advertising it. It's not something. If you want to quote-unquote give to the channel and want to support the channel but want to get something in return, I suggest the Far Lands or Bus Spreadshirt shop. I get a few bucks of commission for every t-shirt sold from there, and then you get a t-shirt, a Far Lands or Bus t-shirt. So that's something I would recommend instead, but if those postcards are as popular as they appear to be, maybe I'll have to do a second limited edition run of a different Far Lands or Bust scene or something like that to start giving as thank you cards for particular, I'll have to say, like, give this much and you'll get a postcard or whatever. But yeah, anyway, enough of that business. Let's go to sleep. And postcardsness. Indeed. So yeah, continuing on. Talked about the hard drive, talked about the postcards. As a little bit of a SpaceX update. Ooh, I didn't realize that guy had enough time to spawn. Screw you, guy. Screw you. As a little bit of an update, the SpaceX Dragon capsule has been doing fine and dandy at the International Space Station the last couple days, and in case I don't get an update out before then, you can watch on NASA TV. It's going to be departing the International Space Station this Thursday about 6 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is 10 a.m. GMT. So you can always tune into NASA TV. I'm not sure, that's 5 a.m. for me. I'm not sure I'm going to get up for that right away. And then after a couple hours after it departs, it's going to do its re-entry burn and then re-enter the atmosphere and then get recovered. So I'm assuming the recovery and things like that are going to happen much later in the morning, so I'll be up to be able to see the updates to that. But yeah, if you are going to be up, that's going to be happening. And that's kind of the final piece to the test and the puzzle for this mission, is to get the capsule safely back to Earth and recovered. So that's really cool. A little space update. Indeed. Excuse me. And I guess I know at the end of the last episode I said I had more to talk about, but I did have a little bit more to talk about. I guess I did kind of my travelogue for the SpaceX NASASocial to Kennedy Space Center. That was a little bit more just a procession of the events and my pictures. I guess more personally, a lot of you guys were asking, because I am a shy person at heart, a introverted person, how I handle such things as the NASASocial, being in a room, with 50 people, 50 strangers from the internet and stuff like that. And I guess the short answer would be not particularly well. I don't know. It's one of those things, and I really didn't. And one of the things is I really didn't meet anybody there or hang out or chat that much. You share a few words, this or that, answer a question or something like that. But I don't know. It's one of those things where beforehand I'm okay with it. I'm like, yeah, these people are cool, and I've heard of some of them online or blah blah blah. We'll talk or whatever than that. But then when I'm there, I kind of what's the word I'm looking for? I kind of retract into myself and just kind of, it was a big deal for me to ask those questions during the question and answer thing that was on NASA TV. That was a large achievement. So I think I kind of spent all of my social energy asking those two questions. And even before it went live on NASA TV, we kind of handed the microphone around and introduced ourselves to everybody. I don't know why, but I kind of freaked out at that, and I felt like when they handed me the microphone, I'm like, hi, my name is Kurt, and blah, 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 I do this YouTube thing, and I was at the Juno NASA tweet, okay, I'm from Chicago, okay, bye. It just felt like it came out like a million miles a second, and I'm like, I think I said English, I don't know, but that's who I am. So it's a weird thing, I don't know, and I know, yes, I'm introverted, and I'm fine with it, but there is some sort of social anxiety, shyness mixed in with there for good measure. So, it was just something. I went on the tour. I was kind of doing the tour. I was kind of just on my own. I really wasn't like hanging out and like, ooh, look at that with somebody else or anything like that. I was taking pictures and kind of more focusing on documenting things that I could come back and talk to you guys about. I didn't do many videos. I'm a little awkward about still. Whether or not I just recording something and talking to the camera or otherwise. Still got to get used to that. I'm a terrible, terrible person for not taking as many videos as I was hoping I would. Ooh. Wolfie's going to investigate. Oh, maybe not. So it's just one of those things. Oh, spoilers. So, yeah, I don't know. It's one of the... And I kind of got a little bit lucky. During the Juno NASA tweet up, there was 150 people, so there was more of a chance for me to, hang out or talk to somebody, and I was kind of lucky there. A guy named Brent, he's a little bit more, friendly of a person who more approachable, or he approached me more and was talking and stuff like that. And then the next day, him and his group of friends that he met at previous NASA tweet-ups kind of hung out at the Kennedy Space Center. But none of that happened this time. I don't know if it's because it was a smaller group or what, but I let my shyness get the best of me. But that's okay. I enjoy it thoroughly still. And, and there's some people... There was a comic... Oh, I forgot what was it? I don't think it was Cyanide and Happiness. It was a web comic about somebody who went to, not Comic-Con, but a Star Trek convention. And like the first few panels where he was getting all excited, he's like, finally I get to hang out and meet people who understand, and I'm able to have a normal conversation with these people as opposed to my normal friends who don't follow Star Trek and call me a nerd and stuff like that. And then a few panels on, he's in the queue to get into the Star Trek convention, and there's a bunch of people around him all dressed in cosplay, and there's like different Spock and stuff like that, and he's looking around and he's like, what a bunch of nerds. So there's a little bit of that, because I fancy myself a space buff, as you know. I talk about it a lot, and astronomy and stuff, but there are some people out there who know all the astronauts' names and all the missions and are really, really dedicated and excited, and it's no offense to them, but it's just, you kind of puts me in my place, that's for sure. And I don't know if Wolfie, are you there? Okay. What the heck, I'll talk about it. I'm not going to see these people again. But in the Twitter feed I was watching, as some of you guys were watching live, there was one person there who asked a question to every person, and she was a teacher. But every time she got handed the microphone, I'm a teacher of 7 and 8-year-olds, blah, 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 and kind of asked the same question about inspiring 7 and 8-year-olds or, girls to go into science or something like that. But a few of you people on Twitter were like, boy, that lady really likes telling everybody that she's a teacher. So there's always one of those in the group who are a little bit extra. They're the extroverts of the group. They're a little bit more boisterous about asking questions and talking in front of a large group and stuff like that. But I thought that was funny. I kind of laughed a little bit. But yes, it's one of those things. I don't know, based on this experience, and it has nothing to do with... Get out of the way, shrubberies. It has nothing to do with the fact that I didn't get to see the launch or anything like that. It was still an amazing experience. But based on this, I think I'm going to hold off on signing up for or attending any more of these NASA tweet-ups in the near future. Just because, especially at the Kennedy Space Center, I've taken that up-close, behind-the-scenes tour twice. I'd like to... Oh, God, this is probably not a good place to be. And it's one of those things. I was hemming and hawing as I got selected for this. I was like, maybe I should give somebody else a chance. I've already done this. So I think in the future I'm going to give other people a chance. Certainly, a lot of you guys seem interested. I would recommend keeping an eye on the NASASocial Twitter, and I'll try to keep you guys updated as to when next NASA tweet up social things are happening, so you guys can sign up, because I'd like to see you get your guys' impressions, to be able to experience it for yourself as opposed to through my tweets and pictures and YouTube videos. So I think I'll give other people a chance to attend NASASocials. I mean, I suppose in the future, if there's another manned mission NASASocial, say it's the SpaceX or something like that, maybe I'll want to sign up for that to be part of that history, but that's 2 or 3 or 4 years down the line, depending. So I think I'm NASA. Oh, hello. It's the Valley of the Pigs. Oh God, Wolfie's gonna knock me off. Don't do that. Oh, see, he was coming to do it. He was coming to knock me off. Way to go, Wolfie. But yeah, I think I'll give NASASocials a break. Same thing with like conventions. I got a lot of questions on whether or not I'll be attending Comic-Con or E3 or anything like that. Let alone the cost and the travel that goes into those. I don't know. I'd have to work myself up to doing one of those, to be honest. And I know Good is talking a lot about he's wanting to hear from Mojang about when is the next Minecon going to be, because they're talking about having it in Europe, and Good would like to go, but it's one of those things, you know, traveling to Europe ain't cheap, especially if it's last minute, so he's waiting to hear. And I know I didn't go to the last Comic-Con, Minecon in Vegas, but even that, I don't know, that's a lot of money. I'm stretching my travel budget pretty thin here this year already with the NASASocial, and then next week I'm heading to a special place for the Venus transit. Remember, June 5th and 6th. If you're in Europe, you'll see it in Europe on the 6th, but transit of Venus. I'll talk about that more in a separate video, but yeah, I'm kind of stretching my budget thin here, and I've never had any sort of need or want to go to Europe, to be honest, so no offense. I know a lot of you live there, and I'm sure it's great, and I'm sure it's fantastic. I just don't have much of a drive to go traveling there anytime soon, so I don't know. I suppose it might be different, say, if like Good or BOO or some of the other Mindcrack crew were there. If I already knew people, it'd be a little bit different than going to, say, this NASASocial and not knowing anybody. So I don't know. Those are my little thoughts about that. This feels like another scatterbrained video, but I hope it was enjoyable. We made a few days' progress towards the far lands, and speaking of reaching 30%, it happened a lot quicker than I anticipated, as it usually does. So I've got to, as I teased in the last episode, I've got to get a hold of a few people to try to figure out if they're up for doing what I'm trying to plan here. I think you guys will enjoy it. I'm not going to spoil it, though. It's going to be a surprise. A surprise, surprise. So look forward to that, and I will definitely want to get that out before I leave next week for the Transit of Venus. And yeah, thanks once again for all of those contributions. Like I said, everyone counts at farlandsorbust.com towards Child's Play charity, using that chip-in widget that's there. Boop, boop. I greatly appreciate all that, and it really not only shows to support Child's Play charity, but shows your support for Farlands or Bust. And oops, I need to shear some sheep, or else I'm going to be in trouble next episode. Let's put this on our hotbar to remind myself. Let's do that. Let's build a couple boats for next episode. And I already reminded you to go to Farlands or Bust, so yeah. Certainly. Thanks again for watching. You can like, comment, and subscribe if you're not already. I appreciate it. And yeah. What episode is this? 153. Episode 153 of Farlands or Bust is in the bag. So, thanks so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time.